This is called How Gen Z Ruined Anime. Oh my god. I cannot believe an entire generation of kids has ruined anime. Is this gonna be a boomer ass take coming from someone that's a bit older, blaming the past generations, or am I getting clickbaited right now?
Gen Z has done irreversible damage to the anime community.
Oh god.
You better change that skin.
Actually, in terms of doing damage to the anime community, I could definitely see Gen Z. Well, it's more Gen Alpha kids now, right? Gen Z is definitely getting older. The oldest Gen Z, I think, is like 27 years old or so, right? In terms of like mentally ill kids online on Twitter, just rage baiting and farming, you know, hateful shit and just being retarded. Yeah, I could agree with that, that they've ruined the anime community.
Hey, Ducky, I'm talking to you.
The anime community is 50-50 with the normal people and then, well...
Ducko! Why do you gotta be such a sussy buck?
What's up? My name is Bugzey and this
People that say sussy baka aren't saying it like, they're not saying this like, they're saying it ironically, right? Nah.
is going to be a special video. Some people might get offended. Some might want to put a special item in my mailbox. Regardless, I must speak the truth, and I've had enough of Gen Z ruining anime, and it's time to discuss it. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Blue Sky, and join the Discord channel, and become a member if you have a few dollars to spare.
God
Hey,
damn.
Shiro! What's good? Play my intro, player.
I got you, homie.
Oh. Yo, was that Yu Yu Hakusho and Dragon Ball? Yo, with this like old ass vibe, we got an elder over here, man. We got like an elder millennial here, I think. Samurai Champloo. That intro was sick. I love the vibes.
The start of Gen Z becoming insufferable is when the Big Three premiered. No, Dragon Ball is not in this conversation right now, but will be later. Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach became the hype of the late 90s and early 2000s.
Absolutely. The big three of the battle shonen that are basically, I think they were inspired definitely by Dragon Ball, right? Dragon Ball probably is like the origin big bang point. Then Bleach, Naruto, One Piece is like the first generation of the big three. And then later on, you have more other series like, you know, Jujutsu Kaisen or My Hero Academia, or let's say Demon Slayer, even Hunter x Hunter, even though that's not as like modern as them, you know, Hunter x Hunter doesn't really get that much recognition compared to the original big three.
Fast forward all the way to the 2010s, the discourse between these animes became more and more popular. At one point, much of the anime community was united as one. Everyone showed their love for anime and there was not much beef. Yeah, sure.
I don't know about that. There's no way to actually assess this, because here's the thing. You're saying back in 2010s that there wasn't much beef, and that may seem to you in your little echo chamber, but as like there's no statistical way to, you know, really prove this. But here's what I think. I think back in 2010, right, there was not as much accessibility to social media like now. Kids are growing off of fucking iPads now. Kids are growing up with smartphones. Back in those days, right, the iPhone and shit, that shit came out in like what? Like beyond 2010, right? And because the onset of the mental illness hasn't festered on Twitter and these online spaces just yet, it may seem to you that there is no beef going on, that everyone is at peace. But compared to now, a decade later, with all these mentally ill kids, again, online, having no business to be on social media, all they do is just fucking self-victimize themselves and try to find out what reason can I complain about today and rage bait. Yeah, I think that the onset of technology and the new generation of kids growing up with this tech is made it way more volatile. But back in the day, it may not seem like that because many people didn't really have access to that kind of technology, or a culture like that hasn't created yet.
Everyone showed their love for anime and there was not much beef. Yeah, sure, there were the occasional Goku versus Naruto debates or even discussing which anime was better. However, it was nowhere near the discourse which we see in current day discussion. During this time period, there was...
And it's kind of the same thing of like how people think that there's so much more crime happening these days, or there's so much more crazy shit happening simply because everyone has a smartphone. Everyone has a smartphone and they can simply record videos. Back in the day, that shit didn't really happen, right? So it's kind of like a confirmation bias where, due to the accessibility of technology, right, you are seeing more crazy shit like this happen. But does that necessarily mean it's that like things were like, I think that discourse and shit like that is being more magnified and more enhanced and it's more exaggerated because of the accessibility of technology. But back in the day, because that, you know, access was not the same, it seems like people were all chill and just chilling. No, I think that people were kind of isolated in silos. I think that people back then were less connected, and therefore there was less noise being made in, you know, the retardation online we see on Twitter regarding anime fandoms.
Was a sense of superiority because anime was not popular at the time. Once anime started to become more mainstream, that's when the insufferability began.
I think that this goes hand in hand, right? Anime becoming more mainstream definitely creates more people to come in. That with the advent of technology and that younger generation growing up with that technology, yes, I think that's what's kind of really magnified this case.
That's when the insufferability began. Is that even a word, or did I just make that up? I don't know, maybe. However, this came from within the community and not outside. Many anime fans still feel resentment from the treatment when they were younger to becoming adults. Hence why you see so many anime fans who get very butthurt about more casual fans. That's when you see the nerd.
Like, you mean the casual, like, anime watcher who gets bullied back in the day because it's not cool to watch anime, and therefore all these, you know, new people coming in now, those veterans getting butthurt as take?
You go, hey buddy, you're an anime fan. What are your top 5 animes? Who is the greatest MC of all time? What's the greatest art? My nigga, shut the fuck up and let casual fans be casual. As long as they're not JoJo Bizarre fans, who cares?
What does he have against JoJo fans? I thought JoJo was all just fucking memes and fun. I haven't heard anyone actually hating on JoJo people.
Anyway, as a newer anime fan, I have seen the good and bad of the anime community. The good being finding your community that follows your favorite anime. The bad being when they are obsessive fans or people being cringe. This is where Dragon Ball comes into the picture.
Okay.
As of the last 2 years, there has been a debate between the One Piece fandom and Dragon Ball. Ever since Ultra Instinct was shown, it was considered the Super Saiyan of the 2010s. Spoiler for anyone who has not seen One Piece or lives under a rock. Luffy ends up becoming—
They're gonna compare Gear 5 and Ultra Instinct?
Joy Boy, which people said is better than Super Saiyan or better than Ultra Instinct. Why can't we enjoy both of the anime moments?
Exactly. Because people are tribalistic. All you have to do is enjoy both, but stupid people online must make their entire personality be a fandom. Because Dave, again, I always return to this talking point. People who engage in hate engagement and rage baits like this, they have nothing going on in their life. They're lonely and depressed. They see that a fandom of anime they enjoy exists, and then they make their entire personality, their entire existence based on that fandom. Because again, it makes them feel like they're part of something bigger than they are. Because they alone as an individual have fucking nothing. Then they go on to fucking cause trouble with other people because negative engagement gets the views, negative engagement gets the clicks, gives them a dopamine rush, and that makes their numb, empty lives at least feel something. That's tribalism in a nutshell.
Again, I do not know, but that is the elitism that comes within the anime community, but also Gen Z. In fact, let's talk about the fandoms that serve.
I don't think it's necessarily all Gen Z though. I think millennials. I don't think this is an age thing. And maybe it seems like Gen Z right now because, again, even if the oldest Gen Z is 27, there's still a lot of younger ones. And the more young you are, you're probably not really, like, well-equipped. You're not, like, emotionally mature. Your prefrontal cortex hasn't developed, and you just think that being edgy and hateful is fun. And therefore, this current generation of kids, I guess, is being thrown under the bus saying they ruined the anime. But I don't think, again, like, the more younger you are, the more likely that you are stupid, right? Because that's just how it works with kids. But there's also a lot of grown-ass people too who have been stunted mentally and wage wars like this shit too.
Animes have created. When talking about anime, there are certain fandoms that you do not want to interact with or try to debate. Some of those fan bases include Dragon Ball Z, Mid Hero Academia, JoJo's, JJK, Hunter x Hunter, and how can I forget One Piece?
Have you noticed a pattern of behavior here? That all the fandoms that this guy has mentioned, it's all battle shonen. And can anyone in chat let me know, what is the demographic of battle shonen enjoyers? Can you guys connect the dots? Because this is not a coincidence. This is heavily predated on the demographic people of the people that watch Battle Shonen. It's fucking stupid young boys, preteens, stupid kids, right? That's why it seems like that. Also, the Battle Shonens are also very popular, right? Here's another thing. the more bigger something is, the more toxic people will exist. Like League of Legends, anything that gets too big, you're gonna have way more bad faith actors, right? It's like a percentage that scales with the number as it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Combine that with, you know, the demography being mostly young, stupid kids. It's not surprising to me that fandoms, you know, belonging to these battle shonens would be the most hateful and the most retarded.
As you can see, these are some of the biggest animes of all time, which tend to have some dedicated fan bases. Now, some people will argue about why their MC is the greatest or why their anime is peak, but then you have some fan bases that...
Because again, it's so cringe to me that you need the affirmation from other people to say Naruto is better than Bleach or vice versa. If I enjoy Naruto more than Bleach, I'm perfectly content. I don't need to convince other people that Naruto is better than Bleach because it's, to me, you can enjoy whatever you want. But here's the thing. Most people are insecure fucking losers that have no backbone. They have no individuality and they need someone else to let them know that you are doing the right thing, little boy. You're watching the right show. You invested the time to watch Naruto instead of Bleach. Therefore, you made the right decisions. And as soon as someone breaks their worldview on that, they feel like their entire reality is shattered. That's the most fucking pathetic loser shit. It's like the same concept of like when you're buying clothes and you buy that shit because it's popular, because other people are wearing it, and you're just trying to be part of the in crowd. This tells me that you're a stupid child. You have no understanding of who you are. You have no self-identity. You latch onto other fandoms because of the popularity, and as soon as someone tells you of different opinions, you shatter because you never had the foundations to believe who you even are. You don't even know who the fuck you are.
Anime is peak, but then you have some fan bases that are straight up weird. For example, Mid Hero Academia. This is going to upset a couple of My Hero fans that may lead to essays in my comment section. I promise you, fam, I am not going to read any My Hero fan essays. Deku at first is a crybaby, whining, lame-ass bitch. Now, over time, he has gotten much better and isn't as insufferable as he used to be.
Okay.
Hey, Deku, put the fries in the bag, my boy. But we aren't talking about that.
Having Deku in fast food promo advertisement is probably one of the fucking worst marketings that MHA could have done in terms of, you know, their branding and how it looks, bro. Holy shit, the amount of like, and like the whole theme of like, you know, Deku working a 9 to 5, even though he's supposed to be a hero, like you just made it too easy to be bullied.
It's the shipping that the My Hero Academia community does. Let's not forget, 90% of the heroes in the anime are children. High school children.
Okay.
Why are you shipping All Might with a Chaco?
Weird, buddy.
Yeah, the shipping goes pretty crazy, huh? The drama that I see in MHA, usually the drama always comes from the shipping.
Now, I understand people having an obsession with a character like Midnight, Mirka, or even Mount Lady, but the children? Y'all some freaked out individuals at the My Hero community. You know what? Let's talk about the Gooners. As an old head, Goon is not what the definition used to be.
Gooners are basically just Coomers, right? You know how this shit works. It's just a bunch of porn rotten, brain rotten kids that just sees everything in the context of porn.
Those who do not know, a Gooner is pretty much somebody who is horny over characters. Now, don't get me wrong.
I think that looking at a character or an art and thinking it's attractive, being, you know, horny over it doesn't make you a Gooner. I think that there is definitely a bridge that you cross though when everything you see is just from the context, again, from a person whose brain has been rotted from porn addiction.
Even I love a big titty anime woman, but I will not sit here and talk about how Makima is the greatest character of all time. No, I am not.
Well, here's another thing too. A lot of Gooner content, right? Tweets online. Like, have you seen? Like it does happen in ReZero2 recently, right? Basically, anything is trending. You say the most unhinged Coomer content possible that you don't really believe in it, but it'll get a lot of engagement because horny equals funny to a lot of kids. Therefore, it's just like, again, it's kind of like rage baiting, where at the end of the day, the outcome is to get a bunch of internet points to make yourself feel better. And there's a very easy way to get that outcome.
Makima is the greatest character of all time. No, I am not Suburban Will.
I need a 30-second explanation of why Makima is the love of your life. I mean, she's just beautiful, bro. She's the moment, you know? Like, yeah. Makima is everything to me.
Why?
Like, what is there not to love?
She grooms you. She manipulates you. She's a fucking sociopath. She's probably a psychopath as well. She tricks you. She deceives you. And if you want a girl that treats you like a dog and lies to you, then your self-worth as a man, I guess, doesn't exist.
I love a strong, confident, passionate woman who knows what she wants out of life. She's just...
Yeah, she wants a dog, not a partner. If you want to be a dog, you want to put a collar on yourself? I mean, hey, long as you're not hurting anybody, right? As long as you're consenting adults, you can do whatever you want.
The best. She's like, she's an evil woman, and evil women tend to have something on me, bro.
Right
she's
there.
a manipulator.
Yeah. He wants to be manipulated.
Fortunately, consider me manipulated.
There it is. Hey, at the end of the day, everyone has different preferences. And if Suburban Will is confident about the things that he wants and it's not hurting anybody, go ahead, enjoy it.
You should check out his channel. He's goated. But it does become obsessive, which leads to very weird interactions and fan bases on Twitter. Let me give you an example. One Piece, in my opinion, misunderstands many of their characters. From a viewer standpoint, I have watched a bit of One Piece and enjoy all the members of the Straw Hat crew. The women are usually well-written characters and not just there for their looks.
Pre-time skip, yeah. Post-time skip, I don't really know anymore.
Okay, yes. They have drawn Nami, Nico Robin, Boa Hancock, and many other women with enormous ass titties that need to be.
Again, Oda doesn't know how to really draw women, so every one of them is just a bimbo prostitute body proportion.
I'm out. But no, seriously, it's hard to not think that they are no more than eye candy when they have some monstrous ass titties, but we must stay focused. The idea that many of the women characters in anime are just there for eye candy can be argued, but I do believe many of them serve a purpose to the plot. One of the most interesting facts that people do not know is that some of the gooner looking animes, the mangaka, are women, which kind of defeats the ideology that it's just men who goon in anime.
No, plenty of girls want attractive looking women to look at too. Like in video games, bro. Like a lot of people, a lot of dudes have this misconception that only guys want hot girls. If you actually talk to girls, real girls, bro, and I know a lot of, people, they could never imagine that, but turns out girls are also horny too, and they want to look at hot, appealing girls and guys. It applies to both genders.
Have y'all seen how women feel about Gojo?
Yeah. The ladies go crazy for Gojo.
Now, I can't be biased and act as if Dragon Ball Z does not have its own problems within the fan base. There are many, ranging from people not understanding character development, the damage that Dragon Ball Z Abridged did with characters, or even fans thinking they can create a better plot than Akira Toriyama. Dragon Ball Z is an anime that is heavily criticized because of how important it is to anime. Let me clarify about Dragon Ball Z Abridged. Dragon Ball Z Abridged did not ruin Dragon Ball per chance.
I've never seen Abridged, but where are we going with this right now? I'm fucking confused on how this... Like, I thought we're talking about how we're talking about anime fan bases right now. I'm sure this will all, connect to later on, but this is a fucking roller coaster of like, okay, women in anime, are they just booba? Dragon Ball now.
It's just that some people have only watched Dragon Ball Z Abridged and not the actual anime, which leads to them believing the memes that were started in Dragon Ball Z Abridged. Example:
Goku, raise your children.
Yeah, Dad, I miss you.
Shit, Dad, you trying to smoke some weed, nigga?
That's not wrong though. It's a very exaggerated take on Goku's fatherhood, which is not existent because this motherfucker is a terrible father. Piccolo raised Gohan. This makes sense to me.
Kakarot's hop on Fortnite. Shit, nigga,
Vegeta, a great father as well.
Let's get into the Twitter communities of these fan bases. Twitter has become insufferable with certain fan bases, as I mentioned earlier. Those fan bases consist of One Piece, Dragon Ball Z, JJK, My Hero Academia, etc. The fan bases either complain about their own anime or shit on other animes. Just like
I've noticed that there's little to no glaze. Like, whenever people wage war on fandoms, again, it's like the ReZero Mushoku Tensei shit, where people don't post about what their favorite anime is, but rather the opposite fandom. Like, for example, Mushoku Tensei enjoyers will have ReZero living rent-free in their head and will only fucking hate on ReZero, and vice versa. ReZero glazers who are triggered by MT will also do the same thing, rather than talk about their favorite anime, because again, negative engagement gets the clicks.
Mentioned One Piece versus Dragon Ball Z, Jujutsu Kaisen had its own issues with leakers and spoiling chapters, which I do think is a problem within the anime manga community that I hope stops over time. Twitter has a mob mentality where if the majority hates it, then it must be bad. This was seen during the final chapters of JJK. JJK was an anime where it was so highly acclaimed in the beginning, and when season 2 of the anime premiered, it felt like over time it went from overly positive to negative. It just seems that with many fan bases on Twitter, they seem to make the anime their entire personality, which
yes, again, the whole concept of people making an anime fan their entire personality stems from tribalism and people who are insecure, who have nothing that they've accomplished, they have no self-identity, latches onto these things and then wages war and negative engagement because it drives clicks and makes them feel good about themselves.
Leads to my next point, casual fans versus hardcore fans.
All right, we're in the next section right now of casual versus hardcore fans. I don't know what we're building up to right now regarding, Gen Z, ruining anime, but the anime fan bases, at the end of the day, the ones that he's mentioning at the very least is all just battle shonens. And battle shonens, again, who's the main demographic? Young, stupid kids. And what do young, stupid kids have? They got a shitload of time and nothing better to do, and they're most likely stupid. So what do? They spend their entire lives on Twitter crying and complaining and hating and shit because that's the easy way to get clicks, because they're all isolated, loner, depressed losers who has nothing better to do with their lives, so therefore they seek attention online. It's just that simple.
Goku, he not being Goku. He not being, nobody could be Goku. Who you know being Goku?
There is a clear distinction between casual and hardcore fans, which is the norm. You have your anime veterans who have been watching since Toonami days. Then you have those who started watching anime in the last 3 to 5 years. Both are
so just like, old heads and modern, new people who just, came off of, I don't know, maybe watching Frieren or let's say Chainsaw Man or Jujutsu Kaisen, right? Any of these new animes airing recently
are valid in whatever anime they choose to watch, but one seems more insufferable than the other. The issue being the bias towards animes, which a lot of casuals enjoy. One of the most popular questions as a casual anime fan is, what is a good anime to start watching?
Gushing Over Magical Girls. Inukai-san's Dog. Chain Soldier. What else is there? Some people will memely say Boku no Pico. The easiest way to ease in people is, what is it? Full Metal Alchemist, right? Like everyone always goes in with Full Metal Alchemist, or what else is like, the baby's like first and Attack on Titan, right? Something more predated on action, hype, rather than slice of life degeneracy. Demon Slayer, right? Battle shonens. Battle shonens are a great way to, have people have an entry point into anime, because if you show them, again, stuff like Yosuka no Sora or Redo of Healer, even Re-Monster, it just, it's just, you got to start them off in the kiddie pool. You can't just throw them into the deep end of the diving pool and just have them drown. But some people actually might respond well to just throwing them into the deep end because they are just degenerates inside.
What do you recommend? Leading to many different answers of where to start. I believe it is an unspoken rule to not recommend any of the big three plus Dragon Ball Z. The reason being,
it's too long. A lot of people get scared by the huge episode count, right? It's like a 1,000 plus episode and they go fucking crazy. Also, I apologize, but I've been drinking so much tea. I gotta take a piss. Be right back. All right, I'm back. Here we go.
Being that they are extremely long, which can have a casual fan no longer interested. I've always recommended to newer / casual fans to watch Samurai Champloo, Cowboy Bebop, Horiyama, and Demon Slayer. The fact,
yep, normie animes, right? We got a battle shonen. Horimiya is rom-com, right? Slice of life rom-com. And Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo just OG classics.
being that they are shorter, great original soundtracks, memorable characters, and easy plot to follow. Now, if a casual fan wants to watch a longer anime or even follow the manga, I'd recommend Dragon Ball and One Piece. That is when people start to dive into the more serious animes. Now, I have nothing against hardcore fans. I think they are needed. For example, look at Anime Con and even Dream Con, locations where people can express themselves and their love
Good googly moogly. What the fuck is this, bro?
For anime or their favorite characters. I have experienced DreamCon and it was amazing meeting other people who also enjoyed animes that I enjoy or even putting me on newer animes. Hell, seeing people with anime
Damn. That's My Hero Academia, One Piece, JoJo, I think, Bleach. Is this Kingdom? Or Dr. Stone, Fusion, you know, Dragon Ball, and so on.
tattoos would never get old. While some people find that to be corny, I think it's an amazing way to express themselves.
Anime tattoo is, I think, it can be cringe, but it can also be done really well. This looks like it's like minimalistic designs like this, right? It looks kind of cool, right?
It's an amazing way to express themselves. Also, they got hella bad bitches who like anime. Now, I do hope casual fans eventually become hardcore fans. However, I do not want them to be so deeply involved that they cannot enjoy any animes. The problem with some hardcore fans is that they cannot enjoy any anime outside of their personal favorite. I have seen this so many times, and it's not only annoying, but brings elitism out. Gen Z has an issue of being able to enjoy other animes because they think it would dethrone their favorite anime. It's almost like they're...
Is that a Gen Z problem, though? Again, at the end of the day, it just looks like a Gen Z problem because of the current situation with the influx of younger kids growing up with, you know, technology and them being the main audience, you know, rage baiting and waging wars online. But I think that in the next generation, we're gonna make another video called Gen Alpha ruined anime and so on, right? And maybe millennials are not really blamed because millennials, you know, the technology wasn't really there quite just yet to having all these, you know, crazy fucking, you know, arguments online about anime. And the really cringe shit is this, man. Dethrone. Like, again, how the fuck does someone else's enjoyment of an anime impact me? If you watched something and you liked it, great. You had a great time. But like, people again are such fucking losers. The average person cannot think for themselves that they need to latch on to what's popular and what is peak. If they're not watching what's called peak considered by some sort of fandom, then suddenly they're wasting their time. It's like they need every one of their actions validated because individuals can no longer critically think for themselves because the education system has fucking failed these new generation of kids growing up. Parents don't have time to actually parent because things are way too fucking hard in reality in society, and no longer can you have, you know, a single parent make 60K and fucking live a middle class life. Kids are growing off, you know, growing online, having fucking stupid ass influencers such as myself as their role models, and no, it's no confusion that so many stupid kids have grown up without any sense of self-accountability or critical thinking, where again, they need someone else, a bigger entity, a fandom to validate that what they're doing, what they're watching is the right thing to do. And if someone else does not behave the exact way that you do, then they are the wrong people, that they are wasting their time. That's NPC behavior, man. Genuinely. That is the definition of an NPC. You're connected to a fucking hive mind. You have no individualism. You have no rational thought. You just go with what people say is peak because that's it to you.
On their favorite anime. It's almost like they're unable to like multiple animes. Now, there are a small group of anime fans who make it their whole personalities, regardless like the big three, Dragon Ball Z, or any popular anime. There are some people who will go out their way to find the most underrated animes and shit on the most popular ones. In my opinion, it is pretty lame, and I wish that people
again, this is just hate rage baiting. This is just rage baiting. It just negative 16 likes, by the way. Edited.
The most popular ones. In my opinion, it is pretty lame, and I wish that people would simply enjoy their animes and keep it at that, which is hilarious because if anyone were to ask me, Bugs, what anime do you absolutely dislike? Well, for me, it's JoJo Bizarre. I'm sorry, it's just an anime that I have not been
Bro fucking hate JoJo's, man.
able to get into, and I've tried.
Okay.
General chicken with rice.
And if Bugzey says he hates JoJo's, am I then gonna say, oh my god, I can't believe you exist as a human being? No. Because it's just fucking shows. You can watch and enjoy whatever you want. At the end of the day, someone doesn't need to agree with whatever you enjoy, and vice versa. Everyone is unique and different. But again, fucking NPC ass kids who have no sense of identity, they feel threatened if someone else enjoys something else or dislikes their own favorite show. It's so fucking cringe.
Into, and I've tried.
General chicken with rice. Okay. And I'm gonna egg roll with it. It come with egg roll. It come with egg roll. Huh? It come with egg roll. It come with egg roll.
Huh?
Gen Z has done some good things when it comes to anime. Gen Z has become much more accepting of anime in spaces that primarily did not show anime. Example, the NFL or NBA social media managers. Since 2020, the influx of anime memes in sports have been amazing, which
even like Gura showing up in the, you know, what's it called? The Major League Baseball, like for the LA Dodgers. I know it's not anime, but it's kind of anime adjacent that, you know, VTubing shit is now being, you know, marketed towards that audience.
Bridged a gap between sports and anime. I think it is also amazing how many celebrities, athletes, and musicians express their interest in anime. This gives positive anime fans that courage to talk about anime, but also defeats the stereotypes regarding anime fans. Gen Z has always had the stereotype that if you enjoyed anime, you didn't shower, were ugly, had no bitches, etc. However, when you have some of the most beautiful women and successful athletes express their interest for anime, it changes everything. An example would be Meg Thee Stallion. Ain't no way. Oh
yeah, she does some crazy ass cosplay. She was even at the Crunchyroll Awards, right?
Anyone here is going to say that Thee Stallion is not a baddie. Like, to make her even more of a baddie,
Mirko.
she's DM at Bugzey on Instagram. The integration of anime into daily life and activities is amazing. My most favorite thing Gen Z has done is express themselves with anime. Gen Z has developed...
Wait, what? Wait. What has Gen Z done so far, though? Because these are just fucking celebrities. Ariana Grande, Gen Z celebrity? I guess so. Megan Thee Stallion, Gen Z celebrity? I don't know. I guess so.
Communities based off of their favorite animes, and it leads to a rabbit hole of more and more interest. Plus, there are so many cool Gen Zers who love anime and they deserve to be in the community.
Okay.
While there are a few things that Gen Z has done well when it comes to anime, I feel that Gen Z has ruined anime. But does that mean the generation cannot be redeemed?
I think it's ridiculous, though, to say that Gen Z ruined anime. Maybe I live in a isolated box as well. I think everyone lives in their little, you know, bubbles, right? And maybe this may seem way more prominent in his bubble of interactions, but to me, I don't think Gen Z has ruined anime. And I don't think it's specific to Gen Z. Again, I go back to this whole talking point of children. Like back in 2010, right? You might not see all these crazy shit happening online because the technology just wasn't there yet. But now, a decade later, you have all these kids that grew up with the access to technology with a bunch of other fucking cocktail of, you know, situations, again, of kids having no good role models, parents too busy to actually fucking teach their kids anything, kids having no critical thinking because the education system is failing them, having shitty ass fucking influencers, myself, you know, influence these stupid ass kids, and them not being able to critically think, then being lonely and isolated and more depressed than ever before. Like this is just a straight up fact. Gen Z kids are more isolated, lonely, and depressed than any other, you know, generation before them, because of the situation that's happening across the world, right? You have all these different crises, you know, systematic issues regarding like corruption in politics, or, you know, rise of cost of living and climate change and all these doomer news, and, you know, the affordability crisis that you can't even afford a home, all these depressing things. People, and you're more connected more than ever. Now you're just doom scrolling all fucking day. What happens when you have, you know, stupid kids that are just isolated and lonely and depressed? They feel the need to wild out and have some sort of, you know, crave for attention, because human beings want that attention and connection. And the most easiest way to do that is to wage war with other fucking fandoms online after making their entire fandom your personality, right? So in that aspect, I do agree that currently it may be Gen Z, but it's going to happen with Gen Alpha too. And I don't think this is really a Gen Z issue. This is more of like a systematic issue that Gen Z seems to be the, you know, the riders on the bus right now. They're the passengers in this bus, but those passengers of this bus will change. The next generation is going to be Gen Alpha kids, and it's going to be the same shit. We should think about, why the fuck is this bus so shitty from the beginning, rather than blaming an entire generation for saying ruined anime.
No, I think it can, but there is a lot of work that needs to be done. The majority of negatives regarding Gen Z comes from the community, fans, etc. But it brings out the positives of Gen Z. It is truly a double-edged sword, but I stand by what I said. Also, not just Gen Z, but all anime fans, you cannot write an anime better than the creator. If you think you can, then I suggest you take the time to create your own manga. In conclusion, I hope that Gen Z can stop being insufferable when it comes to anime and allow everyone to enjoy what they like. If you come across casual fans, be kind.
That is what at one point I do agree with, right? Not the Gen Z part, but like the whole aspect of why can't you just enjoy everything? And if something is something you don't like and someone else enjoys, just leave them alone. Why do you feel this need to always be hostile to other people when they're simply enjoying something? Because you get mad that other people are happy while you look at yourself and you can't understand why they're happy.
To them and they ask for recommendations for animes, then give it. Otherwise, just vibe and not be extra. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the video.
And that's pretty much it. I think that there's a lot of points, that's been addressed in this video that I do agree with. There's a lot that I don't disagree with, again, just specifically labeling Gen Z like that. But ultimately, like, he is right that the current young generation of kids, they're just fucking crashing out online because they got nothing better to do. And, negative engagement, again, is the easiest and cheapest way to get attention. And at the end of the day, these stupid ass kids, until they actually have their fucking prefrontal cortex develop and, blossom into adulthood, until they understand what empathy fucking is, like, nothing will fucking change. And with the advent of technology just going higher and higher, watch what's gonna happen once Gen Z grows up. Then you have the next generation of stupid retard children doing the same shit over and again. Here's a link to the video. Go check out Mr. Bugzey's channel. I'll see you next time.